What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody is doing great. I just got back from the casino and I'm going to do a free tutorial for everybody. And we're going to play the chop system. I get a lot of people who make comments sometimes about, oh, you should have switched here, you should have done this, you should have done that. Guys, as I've explained to you guys, I can only show you what I'm showing you for free. All right, if you want to improve your Baccarat game, the way that you're really going to learn and become a really good player, you need to get the private access to the training. That's all I can tell you. Okay, so we're going to get started today's tutorial, and I'm only limited to play what I'm playing. There is no tricks, there's no triggers. I'm playing every single hand. So you're not going to get what I show in the private training, okay? You're just not going to get that on these free tutorials, okay? So there's no point in you commenting about, oh, you're doing a martingale or you're doing this. You don't know what I'm doing. And if you really want to see what I'm doing, you need to buy the training. Okay, guys, let's get started. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to play a chop system. Okay, we're going to start off with a win. Now, I'm going to press my wins a little bit today. Okay, we're going to lose. We'll go back to the chop. I'm going to go to 75. Okay, we're going to lose. Going to go to 100 and a quarter. Okay, we're going to get that win. I'm going to go ahead and press this to 250. Now, you don't have to play this way. I just kind of like pressing to get the ball rolling so I can get up a good amount, because a lot of times it allows you to get off the table much faster. The biggest problem that people have is they don't leave when they're up. Happens all the time, especially people that win early and then they start thinking, oh, I'm up 250, I'm going to win $2,000 today. So when I was playing today at the casino, I went up to the bar area to get a drink, and there was a woman there that I met, and we started talking, and she was down $4,000. The last time I was at the casino, I was talking to somebody at the bar, and they were down $6,000. So people really lose a lot of money in this game just because they have horrible money management skills. And there's some type of people, when you go to try to help them, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They're not going to listen to you. They think that you don't know what you're talking about. They don't want any help. They don't, even if I was to tell them how to be successful, they don't have the patience. So there's just some people you cannot fix. Okay, that stinks for us. So that was a very, very disappointing loss right there. Okay, so what we're going to do now, so we're starting off down a little bit, but that's because we've been very aggressive. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at the board. And so right now, the chop system would not be the best way to play this board so far, but the chop system still would work. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the chop system. We're going to go with banker here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 50% mark of what I'm down. So I'm going to go about $150 here, and I'm going to go on banker. Okay. Okay, we're going to lose again. I'm going to stay with banker. Okay, I'm going to go 200. Okay, so we're going to get that win, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stay with the chop system. Now, I'm not looking back and saying, oh, both sides are just going down double. I don't play like that. I do not play like that. If my ratio of the board, analyzing it from the 25% of the shoe mark, my focus on this board is I still consider this a chop system. Now, I know that there's another way that we would really do well that is stuff that you're going to learn in the training. that we would adjust here and switch our strategy. But in the free tutorials, I'm not going to do that. So I am going to stay with the chop system here, and I don't care what the past did. You know, just because it did the drop doesn't mean it's going to do that here. Now it could, you know, it's a 50% chance that it's going to do that, and 50% of that it's not. So we're going to just stay with this chop system. We're going to go with the player here. Now we did win $200 on that last wager. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go with player, and I am going to go ahead and press the win, so it will be a $400 wager. Okay, and that's exactly why I don't play based on, you know, looking back, like drop. Everybody that's playing at the casino would have bet banker here. Everybody would have bet banker here. Nobody would have bet player. So I don't play your typical way. I play based on, from experience of knowing, I focus on the 25%, and I just analyze what the board is doing. It doesn't mean that I'm going to win every single time, but in the long run, I'm going to win, especially when I incorporate the triggers that I would teach you in the training, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead, and as you can see now that we are now up $208. So the pressing usually gets me ahead like that. So you guys can play it however you want to play it. You don't have to press. That's not something that you have to do. I'm just doing that because that's just how I would play. All right, so now I do want to make sure that you understand that there's a big difference between me and you. I mean, I'm up big on house money. So if you're playing where you don't have this amount of money of your buy-in, is your personal money, yeah, I don't probably recommend that you press. I would probably just go home and take the small profits. All right, so we're going to go back to banker here. We're going to continue with the chop system. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this back to only $25. Okay, I'm going to lose, so I'm going to go with the chop, and I'm going to bump this to 50. Okay, and I'm gonna get the win, and now I don't have to press anymore. I'm already up $233. I don't have to press anymore. Now, if my goal, let's say, was $300, then the answer would be I would just cash out, because you're at $233, and you know you can't like justify staying over $70. Okay, so you could easily press this bet. So now you do have a winning streak, okay? So whenever you have a winning streak and you're playing the chop system, I would recommend that you don't bet this one. I would take this one off. Okay, so banker wins, and it did go to a chop. So we'll go ahead back to the player side now. We'll continue to play the chop here, and we'll bring it all the way down to a quarter. So we're just trying to use some money management here now. Now I'm at 258. Now this is a perfect opportunity here to press that last win, because I really don't have, you know, any concerns here. I'm already up 258. So I'm going to press the banker and do a chop, and I'm going to go ahead and there's my original bet, and then there was my profit that I just made. So I am going to go ahead and press that $50. Okay, and I'm going to lose. Okay, but no big deal because we're still up 200. All right, so now we're going to stay with the chop, and I'm going to actually come down to a quarter. We're going to get that win, and I'll go ahead and let's see, take a look at the board. All right. Now, this board, you still can do a chop system, but without a doubt, there's other strategies that we learn in the training that I would switch to. I don't think the chop would be the #1 pick for this first 25% of the shoe. It's not a horrible strategy for us in this particular situation, but it's not the best way to play that board. All right, so we'll stay with the chop. We're just going to go a quarter. So we're playing very safe. We lose. So we're going to go with the chop again. Now this time I am going to go to 50. And I want to be on player. Well, we're going to lose again. That was a tough one. All right, now in this particular spot, I'm definitely going to take this one off. Okay, so it did go back to player. And I'll go with the banker here. And I'm just going to go to 50. Okay, we're going to lose. I'm going to go with player, and I'm going to go 75. We're going to get that win, and I don't want to press it here. I don't want to press it here. I've been on a losing streak, so I'm still a little below my 200 that I was comfortable with being up. But we're really close to the 200. So the last thing that I want to do right here is press the 75 profit and bet 75, because then I'd be at 150, and if I lose, guess what? We're down to $30, okay? I'm not that desperate to have to give up all my profit here. There's no reason to do that. That would not be the correct way to play in this particular situation, okay? All right. So what I'm going to do real quick here, guys, is just show you how you can get your Baccarat training. Go to gamblewithjimmy.com. gamblewithjimmy.com, and you want to click on this top left over here. It will say training options, and just click that and then select Baccarat. And the one that you really want is this Baccarat total package. This is what everybody gets right here. I do get a lot of orders for the trigger, the player trigger. That's just a separate strategy that does not come with the total package. The total package does come with 3 strategies: the bet sizing, the money management, and of course the triggers, knowing when to switch, all that good stuff. So yeah, this one's really strong, guys. This is going to change everything for you right here. Okay, all right, so thank you for letting me show that. It takes about 20 minutes to an hour to process your order. So just place that order and you can look forward to that. Thank you to everybody who has been buying that. I get a lot of support from you guys, so I appreciate that. Okay, so let's get back to business. Let's take a quick look. Now, I don't personally like to play in these particular spots here because when I'm playing a chop, I don't really like to go against any type of momentum. In order for me to consistently play the chop, I want to see a chop board. I want to see a chop board. This is not a chop board. Okay, so we are 100% playing the wrong strategy for the board. So what the training would teach you what to do is you want to switch when you're playing the wrong strategy, but you want to give it 25% of the shoe. So you could go ahead and say you're at the 25% range, and then what you would do is you would switch to one of the strategies that we also play that would give you a higher win rate based on what the shoe is doing. Now, there are many times that the shoe will start to change and do a completely different way where the chop system might become the best way. But you're constantly analyzing that every 25%. All right. Now, what's so cool about the way that you're going to learn how to play in the training is you're protected. You're not playing every hand. Okay. The way that I teach you guys, it's almost impossible to lose if you follow the rules. I mean, you'd have to be very, 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 very unlucky, or you're not following the discipline that it requires. Okay. So let's chill out on this one. And let's see what side wins. So the player is going to win. So we do have our biggest win streak here. So we're going to go ahead and just let player do its thing as long as it wants to win. And it doesn't want to win anymore. We got that momentum switch. So we're immediately going to go ahead and switch strategies to playing the winner. Okay, we're going to switch to playing the winner. All right, so we're going to go with the banker. We're going to go a quarter. Okay, we're going to get that win. Now, if we don't make that switch, we're going to lose. We would lose. Okay, so we did make the switch, and now what we're going to do is we're not going to play anything right now. We're going to go ahead and just let banker, lose, and it did. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we'll go ahead and play player here. Okay, we'll just do a quarter, and we're going to tie, so we'll just repeat it. Okay, we're going to lose 7-3, no big deal. We'll go ahead and play the winner here on banker, and we will bump it to $50. Okay, we're going to get that win. Okay, now you're back up at that $228 level because what you experienced just now was excellent money management and bet sizing. It is a crucial part of being a professional player. You cannot get out of control. You have to constantly be very skilled in your bet sizes. You have to. You have to have discipline. You cannot be successful playing this game unless you're capable of getting up, cashing out that $228 and leaving. Now, I know a lot of you guys, $228 is nothing. Okay, I realize that. I understand that. Okay, but you got to look at the big picture. You got to get used to winning. All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to take this off. Okay, we're not going to do anything. Okay, because what you want to do when you're up, you want to allow the shoe to develop. You want to give the shoe a chance to keep showing you what it's doing this additional 25%. So you had the first 25%, and now we're on the second 25%. We're working towards the second. We want to see if the shoe changes. If it changes, we'll make an adjustment. Okay, now I am okay with going ahead and playing the winner here on player because it's just going to be for a quarter. Okay, and we're going to get the win again, and now we're at 253, and we're going to take this one off. Okay, so what we're doing is we're playing what the board is telling us to do. We're not basing this next bet based on everything that blue has done. We're not doing that. We're basing it on the entire board of what we see the entire board doing, and it's why we switched to playing the winner. Okay, if we were playing the chop system, as I explained to you, it's the wrong strategy to play. So you're going to get, when you get the training, you're going to get the Baccarat Crazy 8. Okay, everybody loves that one, and you're going to get the Baccarat Momentum, and it's going to cover a little bit of the Baccarat Press. It's going to cover a little bit of the Baccarat Switch. So you're going to kind of get a verbally way of kind of understanding what we're doing on everything. But it's just all I can tell you guys is it's going to change everything for you. It really is. All right, so in this particular spot, I don't mind taking these off. I would recommend that you would probably just take these off and give the board a chance to keep telling you what to do. Okay, so right now we have a player run. Okay, we have a player run, so let's let player run. We're going to just chill. All right, and the player wants to be the main winner right now, and we're going to just allow it to do its thing, and then it stops the momentum right there. Okay, now sooner or later, there's a really good chance that this board is going to do a completely 360. It's going to do a complete 360 where you're just going to get chop, 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 chop. Don't be surprised if the board does that. That's part of the game, okay? That's why sometimes you need to chill out and give the board a chance, especially when you're in profits. Give the board a chance to keep telling you what it's doing. Okay, so we have player, all right? Here comes chop. Here comes a chop. Okay, let's let the board play. Just chill out. There's another chop, okay? Here comes, let's see what happens. Okay, got banker, banker. So now you're going back to this, and we're going to wait until it switches. Okay, we got another banker win. So banker wants to go on a winning streak here. There's another banker win. Okay, let's chill out. There's another banker win. Now this is good for us. This is a really good situation for us because we know that player has been very consistent. As a matter of fact, player has 2 more wins than banker. So player has been very consistent. There's no reason for us to think that player is just going to magically vanish from this shoe. So let's let banker go on a long run if it can. And there's another banker win. This is good for us, okay? Well, just be patient. And there's another banker win. Okay, you got an L now. Another banker win. Okay? Okay, so you finally had a switch there. All right? So, looks like my... Okay, so you finally had a switch there. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to get off the table. Okay? So what we're going to do in this particular spot is we're just going to focus on player, where we want to try to win at least one time out of the next 4 or 5 hands. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start it with $50 instead of 25. Okay? Now you could even do this with 100, but we're already up in profit and we don't want to get on some crazy losing streak here where we just start getting murdered. Okay? So we're going to go with player. And we have a 7-7 tie. If we bet the blazing 7, you just won $1,250 on a $25 bet. So we're going to just redo it. Okay, and we're going to lose. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go with player again. We lost 50, so we're going to go 100 here. And we're going to get that win. So we didn't win a lot, but we did win a profit of $50 between the last 2 bets. And we got into the $300 range. So now you guys could do that where you could have did 100 and then you go to 200, you know, but I'm just telling you from experience, there's never a guarantee, and you're getting in a situation where you're up in profit and you're putting yourself in a vulnerable spot if things go bad. All right? So that's up to you, but there is a high percentage chance that you're going to hit your player there, especially when player has been consistently winning throughout this shoe. This is not a dominant banker board. It's a 50-50, 21-to-21 ratio, okay? So we're going to go ahead and call it quits at the $300. Sure, we could turn this into 500. We could turn this into 1,000. It's really irrelevant. What matters to me is that you guys really understand the basics of the game, and you can pick up certain things that I'm giving you guys for free. But the serious Baccarat players, if you guys really want to change your game, you will win 33% more than you're winning now. That's a big difference, guys. 33% more. And I'm not just throwing those figures out there. Those figures are just a fact. It's my style of play and what I put together. These are all analyzed over thousands and thousands of playing shoes. Okay, so when I put the system together, it was all analyzed over a period of time, and my win rate went up 33%. So I have a much higher win rate than everybody out there. The only way you're going to get a higher win rate is to copy what I'm doing. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day. Do me a big favor before you go, if you can. Hit that like button for me. It really does help out the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed and you watch my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you have friends or anything like that, forward my video over to them. And you know, maybe they get the training. If maybe you've already bought the training and maybe one of your friends wants to get the training, that will be great. Whatever it takes to support the channel, because to be quite honest with you, I would not do this unless I was getting the support from the Baccarat players. My Baccarat community is my #1 community for my channel. If I didn't have my Baccarat community, I wouldn't even waste my time doing YouTube. I do really well between my personal Baccarat play, my personal craps play, and my stocks and crypto. So I do my thing, and just, you know, I'm glad that I can share my knowledge with you guys, but it's just because you guys support me. That's the truth. I just wouldn't have the time to put into this. I just got other things that I would rather do. But because you guys dedicate that support to me, it allows me to keep going with the channel. So I really am so thankful from all of you guys who do support the channel. There's so many of you guys that really help the channel out. So thank you, each and every one of you guys, for doing that. Okay? You guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you win a ton of money at the casino.